It is May 3rd, 2023, and the class of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 2023 has been announced. And as many of you may know, if you've seen my playlist or how I've been filming lately, I made guests on everything from the beginning to the end. So, let us start there. So when I first started this, I tried to guess who was in the class 20 for this year. And I had nominated for Preformers Muse, Queen Against Stone Age, Missy Elliott, Chaka Khan, Rage Against the Machine, Kate Bush, Devo, Dionne Warwick, Beck, Tribe Called Quest, Iron Maiden, Outkast, Phil Collins, George Michael, and Mariah Carey. As you may have seen from my last video when the nominees were announced, I actually only got Missy Elliott, Kate Bush, Iron Maiden, and George Michael correct on that. But at the time, I had also made a guess on who would be for Musical Excellence, Ertegun, and Early Influence, and we'll get to that in a minute, but what is now called. But originally, for the Musical Excellence, I nominated Chaka Khan, Iron Maiden, the Commodores, and Suzi Quatro. For Ertegun, I would have nominated Cornel Parker, Tom Bell, Casey Kasem, and Don Cornelius. We'll see if any of these are right when we get to the actual class. And then for Early Influence, I nominate MC5, Fela Kuti, The Monkees, The New York Dolls, and Neil Sedaka. So, then came the fan vote. I can only name you the top 5 because that's all I can remember. But the top 5 ended up being the following: George Michael, Cyndi Lauper, Warren Zevon, Iron Maiden, and Soundgarden. But did the Rock Hall this year follow last year's history, or have we repeated 2020? Let's find out. In 2023, the nominees are, and the winners, the inductees are Kate Bush on her 4th time through, and the success of Running Up That Hill in Stranger Things put her in, finally. First timer, Sheryl Crow, makes it on her first time. Missy Elliott, who, despite thinking I thought rap was going to have a bad year, makes it in on her first year. George Michael, the fan favorite and number 1 in the fan ballot, makes it. Willie Nelson follows Dolly Parton. And the Spinners follow and prove that the 70s still have a chance on the inductee classes. But of course, if you just heard that, then you realize, wait, 4 of them were not even on the list. You are correct. Only 1 out of the top 5 actually made it in this year. Shocker alert. So that means the following did not make it: Iron Maiden, 2nd time. Shafted again. Joy Division and New Order did not make it. Cyndi Lauper, despite being 2nd place in the fan ballot, nope. Soundgarden, despite being 5th in the ballot, nope. Tribe Called Quest, despite being for their 2nd time, nope. The White Stripes, nope. And Warren Zevon, despite being 3rd, nope. And we'll get to, I think they will be doing in a minute here. But let us get on to the other categories that you might be waiting for. As tradition with the Rock Hall, they mixed it up again. So here we go. We'll start with Musical Excellence first. We have Chaka Khan, who I guessed who would be nominated either as an inductee or as Musical Excellence. And I got it right here. We have Bernie Taupin, Elton John's longtime collaborator and songwriter, makes it in. And Al Kooper, longtime producer, musician, songwriter, who worked with everybody from Bob Dylan to the Rolling Stones to Leonard Skinner. For the Ertegun Award, I out of all the people I guessed in that list I just told you, I got 1 right, and there was only 1. Don Cornelius, the host of Soul Train, one of the biggest TV shows of the 1970s and 80s, And in African American culture, one of the biggest things that ever happened. And then for what we used to be known as the early influence, which was renamed as musical influence. Apparently they decided it can't be early anymore. We have DJ Kool Herc, one of the pioneers of hip-hop, and Wray, a long-time guitarist who was big in the 50s and 60s, and came back in the 70s and remained successfully popular until his death in 2005. And he had been a previous nominee as well, twice. So also, technically, in this class, we also have 2 previous nominees also being nominated and inducted. But with that, let's go over the list again. The big winners for inductees are Kate Bush, Sheryl Crow, Missy Elliott, George Michael, Willie Nelson, Rage Against the Machine. Sorry, I forgot Rage Against the Machine. 5th time on the ballot. They finally get in this time. And the Spinners for the 4th time on the ballot. For musical excellence, Chaka Khan, Bernie Taupin, and Al Kooper. For Ertegun, Don Cornelius. And for early influence, now known as musical excellence, DJ Kool Herc and Wray. So, what happens now for the other nominees that didn't make it? This is a very good question, because most should be brought back. Iron Maiden should be brought back. Joy Division should be brought back. Cyndi Lauper should be brought back. Soundgarden probably should be brought back. Warren Zevon should be brought back, in my opinion, for next year's ballot. But what about the White Stripes? What about Tribe Called Quest? Who were on the lower end again. Well, except for White Stripes, this was their first time. But what do you do with them? Do they need to go off the... Do they need to leave? Do they need to not stay? Or what? That is a very good question. A Tribe Called Quest is only on their 2nd time, so put them back on again. Why not? And on the White Stripes, never agreed with the pick to begin with. I would rather it be Jack White and the White Stripes that we're going to nominate it this way, but yeah. And with that, your class of 2023 for the Rock Hall. Once again, Kate Bush, Sheryl Crow, George Michael, Willie Nelson, Missy Elliott, Rage Against the Machine, and the Spinners as your inductees for performer category. For musical excellence, Chaka Khan, Bernie Taupin, Al Kooper. For Ertegun, Don Cornelius. And for early influence, renamed as musical influence, DJ Kool Herc and Wray.